Hello and welcome to the King of Hearts. So we're going to talk about the King of Hearts relating style, which is any guy if you're a heart, but it is also for women when they are in a leadership or a management position. So before I get into that, I just want to say my little quickie thing. Go to itiskismet.com, links below, where you can get your full report and you can go shopping and find all kinds of different reports that we've got. The big one is the Player's Guide, which is like an owner's manual in how to be you. And we also have Cosmic Connections reports about you and how you relate to another person. What are the planetary influences? As well as your full report, and there's even a free recording of me telling you about the Pluto card in your hand. The Pluto card is the most difficult card, and it's about transformation, death and rebirth experiences, which we're all going through. So, one more thing. Facebook. You can find Kismet cards on Facebook, and I also have a page, just my name, where I give live readings and pull cards for individuals who join me in the live reading. And sometimes I just give quick little insights. I also have a Patreon page. Okay, so let's get into the King of Hearts. Hearts represent the realm of the emotions, people, and love. Kings represent external mastery and authority. Okay, so there is an ego expression and an essence expression for the King of Hearts. So just in general, the ego expression, they can be kind of pouty, emotionally manipulative. They can be massive caretakers. They can also be kind of judgmental and have a very fixed kind of thinking. Like, I'm right and this is the way it is, and they can be a little immovable. And sometimes they can lack a certain amount of strength in terms of their will. It seems like they're kind of one or the other. Either they're really in touch with their authority or it's just the opposite, and they can be manipulated easily. So what is the essence expression of the King of Hearts? Gracious. They can be kind and gracious and magnanimous. They create an uplifting energy, especially with groups. They really know how to honor the individual in a deeply sincere way. They tend to create a safe container for people. So like a manager or a therapist or someone that just surrounds you energetically. So one of my cards is a heart, and sometimes this King of Hearts energy comes through for me when I'm doing this, when it's the one to the many. That's another thing that the King is about, is that when you are relating as the one to the many, what are you like? So when we get into the hand of the King of Hearts, there is a Venus card. There are like 10 cards, 13 cards. The Venus card will tell you what is their relating style. So this is what we're looking at in this series of videos. So Venus is our relationship style, friendship, love, but also what gives us a sense of calm, ease, and pleasure. And it can relate to the women in your life in general, or your female archetype. It's surprising how many people's Venus card is actually their mother's birth card. Okay, so the Venus card in the hand of the King of Hearts is the Six of Hearts. So right off the top, in a very general way, the Venus card is about relationships with women. So relationships with women tend to be karmic. And this can be really wonderful or really difficult. But there is a sense of being locked in with this person, a sense of, I know this person, we have work to do. And in some cases, it is truly just a beautiful room of like, you're my soulmate. And other times it's like, okay, we've got things to work on. And there may be a balancing that is required. That's basically what karma is. I don't like that word. But if we think of it in terms of, okay, I've come into this life to balance, bring balance to this relationship. Maybe I was out of balance the last time and I'm going to rein that in. And sometimes that's why it's so difficult, is because there's a pattern from a past life or past lives. Okay, so sixes also prize harmony and ease. They're very good planners. They want things to go smoothly. And there's an understanding of balance as well as duty and responsibility. So if we think of all of these things coming into a relationship, they will provide, and this is one reason the King of Hearts is such a heart, is that they have a heart in their Venus position, which is going to take responsibility in the relationship. They will be reliable, they will be there. They also create a sense of security and harmony because they like to plan things out. They like to know how things are going to go, and they intend for them to go smoothly. When there's a change or an upset, it can be very difficult for them because of that six. The six favors harmony, and sometimes, like a Libra, peace at any price. So that's where the caretaking comes in. So caretaking and responsibilities that aren't theirs. That's what caretaking is. But if you think in terms of things that they think that they're responsible for that they're not, it can cause a lot of anxiety and stress for them. And what's under that is a very sincere desire to show up and be in their highest potential in the relationship, but it can also come from a fear of disapproval. So they strive for emotional maturity because that is the meaning of the King of Hearts, mastery of the emotional realm. So, and relationships are the fastest way to get there. So they tend to be very engaged in the relationships and I want to do my work kind of thing. They're great partners. They can have fixed ideas and expect their partners and friends to think the same way that they do. And that is because there is a 4 hiding under that 6. 4 of clubs, in fact. 4s tend to be very structured, boxed in sometimes getting into a rut. Clubs are the mental realm, so sometimes they can be very fixed about their ideas, and there will be no harmony if there is disagreement about a concept or a thought. So that's something they need to work with a little bit. So to kind of wrap it up, I'm going to come back to what I do at the end of all of these is if you are a man and you are a heart, you are not locked into this relating style because you also have a queen archetype and a jack archetype. So this is what we call the royal archetypes, and these are available also for purchase separately on our site. They're absolutely fascinating, and they can really show you what archetype you're operating out of and what may be an easier path in relationship, like the Jack, get into your inner child, get into your youthful self. So if a heart gets into his or her inner child, what is that going to look like? Okay, so remember we had that 4 hiding under the 6. The Jack of Hearts has the 9 of Spades in Venus. 9 is, I want a bigger perspective. I want to include everybody. And the 9 of Spades always wants the biggest perspective possible. So they tend to be very open-minded, very embracing. So the inner child heart is very free, very open, very available to the world, to experience, to life, to you. The 9 also makes them deeply intuitive. So the queen, what if you're in the queen archetype, which is the one-on-one? Sometimes that's counselor, therapist, mother, mentor, coach. The Queen of Hearts can be very controlling. So the upside of that is that she knows how to take charge. And as a counselor myself, I've had to draw on that energy to say, okay, I'm in a position of, what do you want to call it, authority, control. I am responsible for setting the tone of this exchange. There's a sense of willing to step into a leadership position. So there can be control. So the Queen of Hearts has an 8 of Diamonds in her Venus position, which, little clue here, I nickname the 8 of Diamonds the asshole card. So that's where, relating in that one-on-one way, that energy can come out as being very offensive, very rigid, very dictatorial. Or it can also come out as, well, I need to take responsibility for myself here, and I'm in charge of me. Ultimately, that's where the 8 goes. It's also a very powerful advocate for the truth. Yeah. So you can see all the different archetypes of relating available to the hearts. So that's it for now. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you like this video, especially with your heart friends. And if you don't know what suit they are, go to itiskismet.com. It's free to look up your card. You just type in your birthday to find out what your card is. And again, there are reports there, all kinds of stuff. There's a couple of paragraphs that we give away as a little freebie too, just to give you a taste of the kind of information we're looking at in the reports. So that's it. Have a good day. Thank you.